I was 19 years old and invincible. Perhaps you know what that feels like. The year was 2048, and my life had just begun. It was the year I moved out from my parents and started studying at the University of Uppsala, Sweden's oldest and most prestigious university. Or, well, as you may know, there's an old feud between Uppsala and Lund University about which university is the oldest and the best. But Uppsala was indisputably the largest between the two, with almost 60,000 students. Assess that how you will. Anyway, I had always known that I would be a computer geek when I grew up, and finally, Anders Helmemyr got his tiny 19-square-meter corridor apartment on Sernanders Road in Flugsta and started the 4-year computer science program at Uppsala. 2048 was also the year I came out. My parents took it well. They had no problem whatsoever with me being gay. As long as you're happy, Anders, we're happy. And so on. You understand the sentiment. It was also around that time, shortly after I had moved to Uppsala, that I met Alexander, my first boyfriend. It only lasted a few weeks, though. And the student life, I knew immediately that I was in the right place. With all the new, exciting, and intellectual people around me, this was going to be so much fun. All those wild nights I spent at the student nations. Oh, maybe I need to explain what a nation is, since that's very special Uppsala lingo. The student nations of Uppsala are these ancient institutions for students, most of them some 400 years old or so. They have all sorts of social events, but for most people, it's all about the parties they have. God, thinking back, so much happened that year. It was also the year I met Niklas Selmlind. I think everyone has someone they know about whom they've often thought, damn, that guy is smart. Not just a little bright, or wise, or witty, but a person so smart that it's actually creepy. I met many such brilliant people in Uppsala. For example, we had this German professor who taught discrete mathematics. He was apparently rather famous in the mathematical community. He had proven an important theorem when he was in his 20s. Quite a character, I must say. He always wore the same clothes, it seemed. Either that, or perhaps, more likely, he had several sets of identical jackets and bow ties. But now I'm getting off topic. As I was saying, I met many hyper-smart people in Uppsala. But Niklas Selmlind played in a league of his own. There were rumors that he had had his IQ measured at over 200 as a child. I don't know if that was true. Statistically, only 1 in about 100 million should score that high. At such high marks, even the most reliable tools have to fight to measure an IQ score accurately. They said he could read by the age of 2. When I started at the university, he was already working on his doctorate, even though he was just about a year younger than me. A doctoral student at the age of 18. Not many can say that. He was skinny, clearly not the guy who went to the gym. He never did anything to style his hair, and he often wore t-shirts with math jokes and other nerdy puns that went over most people's heads. Actually, he looked a lot like Vincent from the series All About My Job, which you may be familiar with. The similarity was quite striking, and I wasn't the only one who made the connection. Sure, he acted the part, and certainly looked the part, but I still don't think many would have guessed that this might actually be the guy with the highest IQ in all of Sweden. I remember one time when I had struggled with one of the expert problems in new science. It was a 2-dimensional geometric shape which was supposed to be cut up into smaller pieces and reassembled into a new form. After unsuccessfully trying to solve the puzzle for 2 days, I was convinced that it was unsolvable, a trick question. I even thought I could prove that it was